Hi Skin Crushers! Thank you for joining me today for a video that I am really excited about because today we are going to talk all about product and building skincare routines. Building a skincare routine is one of my absolute favorite things to do, and it's something that can leave many of us a little bit confused. What products do we need? How often do we use them? Is it once a day? Is it twice a day? Do I really need that? How many is too many? And the questions go on and on. So today, I really want to break that down, and I'm going to talk to you about my own skincare routine, which anyone that's watched any other videos or listened to the podcast, you know that I have a pretty robust 10-step skincare routine, but it doesn't have to be that many steps. We can go anywhere from just 3 steps morning and night to 10 steps and beyond. And I really want to get into the nitty-gritty with you today so you have what you need to build your own skincare routine. Now, we got into this a little bit during episode 5 of the Skin Crush podcast when I interviewed medical esthetician Sonia Escarino. Sonia and I started talking about our must-have skincare routine products, and I really wanted to take the time to dig a little bit deeper and explore that topic even more. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So as I said, I have a big skincare routine, but I realize how 10 steps may be a little bit overwhelming to some of you, especially if you're just getting started. When it comes to creating a skincare routine, it's not just about what products do you need to use. There are a lot of other questions to consider. So you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do 10 steps? Would you rather just have 2 or 3 steps? Do you have equal time in the morning and at night? Or do you need to have less steps in the morning, but you could have more steps at night? Or is it vice versa? Fewer steps in the morning, but more steps at night. So it's really just a matter of where are you on your skincare journey and how can we meet you there? You also have to consider budget. Budget is a big factor because when we start talking about premium skincare products, they can get pricey. And so you really want to make sure that you're putting your money in the smartest place, that we're investing in the right steps of your skincare regimen to get the biggest bang for your buck, not only financially, but also in your time. The most important thing when creating a skincare routine is to think about what you can realistically commit to. So commitment in terms of you have the budget to stay on that skincare routine long term. What I don't ever want is that you scrape together money to buy a big set of products that you can use for maybe a few months, but once those run out, you don't have the ongoing budget to replenish those. If that's the case, let's not even go through that stress and let's find a skincare regimen that does fit your financial needs, as well as your time availability. So for some people, it's not about budget, it's about time. They just don't have the time or they just don't have the commitment, meaning they don't want to do 10 steps, and that's okay too. You just have to ask yourself, what do I have available in terms of time and money, and what commitment level do I have? And once you start kind of pulling those things together, you can really land on what is an ideal skincare routine for you. Now, when it comes to a skincare routine, I like to start with the basics. I always think of building a skincare routine as like building a house, and I call it my skincare house, which you can see here. My wonderful husband built me this fantastic little house model, and I think it really represents that very basic skincare routine perfectly. So for me, when I think about the most essentials in a skincare routine, the most basic skincare routine, I think of 5 products. To me, there are 5 products that you have to have in any good skincare routine. So I want to start there because if you don't want to have anything bigger, you don't want to invest a lot of time or money, investing in these 5 products can really yield a lot of results for you. So I call these 5 essential products the 5 pillars of my skincare house. And that's because together they really build a nice strong house. So the 5 pillars are going to be cleanser, antioxidant, retinol, moisturizer, and sunscreen. Those are the 5. And so I'm going to start first with a cleanser. So here I have the SkinCeutical Simply Clean Cleanser. I used it to represent our cleanser pillar because it's really a nice, gentle, not too aggressive, not too gentle cleanser that almost any skin type can use. So something like that is going to be perfect that you can use twice a day. When it comes to a cleanser, the most important thing for you to remember is you want to avoid the temptation of using the most aggressive cleanser you can find. Oftentimes, if we have oily skin, acne-prone skin, and problematic skin, we will try to find the most aggressive cleanser we can because we really just want to strip all those oils away and leave our skin feeling squeaky clean. I want to caution you to avoid that temptation because what we don't ever want to do is to overstrip the skin. By overstripping the skin and leaving it too dry and tight, it can send signals to our skin to go into overdrive and produce more oils, and it puts us right back where we don't want to be, and it's kind of a vicious cycle. So if you want that very essential skincare regimen, that very simple routine, I would go with a cleanser that is not too gentle, not too aggressive, and that you can reasonably use twice a day. So that's pillar number one, a cleanser. Now, pillar number two is going to be an antioxidant. And here I have us represented in our skincare house with the SkinCeuticals Floritin CF. SkinCeuticals has a wide variety of antioxidants, Floritin just being one of them. You can find whatever antioxidant works best for you. Now, the reason that I've included an antioxidant or vitamin C in our skincare house as that second pillar is using an antioxidant every morning really is one of the most important things you can do for your skin anti-aging. So it's one of the two pillar products for anti-aging, the other being retinol, which we'll talk about in a minute. So why is an antioxidant so important? Now, antioxidants could have their own video, but I really want to just give you the quick and dirty so you understand why I've included it as a pillar. So every day when we're exposed to environmental aggressors, and those would be things like pollution or ozone, the environment, sun, all these sort of things, they create free radicals in our body. Now, free radicals are unstable molecules because they're missing an electron. Now, what these unstable molecules do is they bounce around our body, they kind of wreak some havoc, and they can be contributors to premature signs of aging. So when we say premature signs of aging, I mean things like fine lines and wrinkles, discoloration, skin laxity. All of these are contributed to by those free radicals that are just running wild. And so what an antioxidant does is it comes in and it donates an electron to the free radical and it stabilizes it. So by stabilizing that free radical, it helps us to prevent those signs of premature aging. So we can actually prevent things like fine lines and wrinkles and discoloration. It's really important because for most of us, by the time we're getting to the point where we're really investing in a skincare routine, we have had many years of damage occurring. And so what we want to do is kind of pump the brakes and help prevent future damage, and then we're going to correct damage that's already occurred. So vitamin C, a vitamin C serum, an antioxidant in the morning, we only use our vitamin C antioxidants in the morning time, is going to be that first step to helping to prevent future skin damage. Now, as I said, we're only going to use this in the morning, and it's going to be the very first product that goes on clean skin. So cleanse, pillar number one, and then antioxidant, pillar number two. Now, in the morning, the third step is going to be a sunscreen. So we want to make sure that every single day we are protecting with sunscreen. And here I've represented sunscreen using SkinCeuticals Physical Matte, but you can use whatever sunscreen works best for you. And that is the only rule when it comes to sunscreen, is you want to find one that works best for you. Some good guidelines: you want to have a broad spectrum, at least SPF 30, and most people prefer a mineral sunscreen, but that's completely up to you. You just want to find something that you can use every day on a daily basis. It's here as our third pillar because those three products make up our essential morning skincare routine. So the very basic would be cleanse, antioxidant, vitamin C serum, and sunscreen. 3 steps, easy peasy. So then we want to move into our nighttime skincare regimen. So at night, of course, we're going to cleanse our skin again, but instead of using a vitamin C this time, we're going to use a retinol. And I have the retinol represented right here. And so what retinol is going to do for us is it is collagen stimulating, and it's going to help promote cellular renewal, cellular turnover. And so retinol really is one of those gold standard anti-aging ingredients. When you visit a dermatologist and you ask for one anti-aging ingredient, very often you're going to hear retinol is the answer. So retinol is a product that I would absolutely say would be a pillar of an essential skincare house and that you would want to use at nighttime. Now, retinol is only going to be used at nighttime, so it's a great sort of opposite end as the vitamin C, which we're only going to use in the morning time. Now, when it comes to retinol, I want to just sort of caution you a little bit. If you've never used retinol, there is oftentimes a period of irritation that can accompany using a retinol. So if you've never done it and you just get started, I would always suggest that you start using a retinol only 3 nights a week and you start on a low dose. So at SkinCeuticals, we have an introductory concentration, which is a 0.3. And so the 0.3 retinol 3 nights a week is something that most people can tolerate. And when I say tolerate, I mean that those side effects are minimized. And side effects you might look for, or what that irritation might look like, would be redness, excessively dry skin. You may even have some light flaking or peeling, some skin shedding. And that's all okay. That's totally fine, totally to be expected. If that irritation or those side effects are excessive or you really can't tolerate them, or if you find that they're lasting for weeks and weeks and weeks, then you may take a break from your retinol. If they're minimal side effects and you can tolerate them, maybe they're a little annoying, but you can tolerate them, typically you just want to push through that irritation period and keep using it. And after a week or two, those side effects will start to subside. They'll start to be alleviated. So we're going to start a retinol on a low dose 3 nights a week. Now, if you get through a couple of weeks and you really don't have any side effects, or they've been minimized pretty much and you're not experiencing them anymore, then you can add another day, add a 4th day, then add a 5th day, 6, 7. Our goal would be to be able to use the retinol all 7 days a week, if you can. If you're able to get through that and you're using your low dose retinol every single night without any irritation, or without irritation that you don't like, you could, for your next purchase, your next bottle, purchase a little bit higher of a concentration. So at SkinCeuticals, our mid-range is a 0.5 retinol. So get on that 0.5, and then I'd go back to using it just 3 nights a week. Let your skin get used to the higher dosage, the higher percentage, and see how that irritation happens. Do you have a recurrence of those side effects, or are you good? Once you're good, add that 4th day, 5th, 6th, 7th, again with our goal being to use it every single night. Now, once you've done that, you could go up to a 3rd level. So at SkinCeuticals, we have a 1.0, a 1%. And that's very typical of a lot of retinols, having those kind of 3 different percentages or something in those ranges. So if you're able to graduate to that higher range, fantastic. And start back at just the 3 nights a week. See how your skin responds to that and try to acclimate yourself or titrate yourself into those 7 nights a week slowly. Now, somewhere between the low dose 3 nights a week and the highest dose 7 nights a week, you're going to find where your sweet spot is. And when I say your sweet spot, what I mean is, what is that time frame? What is the concentration of product you're able to use, and on a consistent basis? So you'll find that maybe for you, you can only use a 0.3 3 nights a week, and you never really can get past that without having too much irritation. You may find that you could use a 0.5 every night, but when you get into the 1.0, you really can't do more than a night or 2. So you'll find how many nights a week can you consistently use a concentration, and that's where you want to land. Consistency is the key. When it comes to a retinol, you want to get at least 3 nights a week on the product. Less than that, and we're really not getting the benefit of the retinol that we want. So what can you use consistently 3 nights a week would be a great place to land. Now, if you can find a concentration you can use every night, fantastic. If you can't, or if you have a little bit of difficulty with that, one trick would be to alternate your retinol with an ingredient like glycolic. And here we have the glycolic 10 Renew Overnight, and I'll talk about that when I get into my own skincare routine. That's one way that you can mix up your routine a little bit and incorporate that in. I didn't include glycolic in our skincare house because I really want to concentrate on just the very basic essentials, and using a retinol 3 nights a week is a part of this just basic essentials. So we're going to cleanse, we're going to use our retinol, put that down on clean skin, and then a moisturizer. Now here I have moisturizer represented by Metacell Renewal B3. This is a nice lightweight moisturizer from SkinCeuticals with a lot of anti-aging benefits. Again, you plug in whatever moisturizer works best for you in that category, in that spot. So that's going to be that pillar number 5. At nighttime, we want to cleanse, retinol, and moisturize. Now, I had cautioned you with the cleanser to avoid the temptation of being over-aggressive in your cleanser. And when it comes to moisturizer, I want to caution you to avoid the temptation of not using moisturizer. For many people, if you have oily skin or if your skin is prone to breakouts or problematic blemish-prone skin, oftentimes we'll want to avoid moisturizer. We think it's going to break us out. And so the trick is really finding a moisturizer that you like and you can tolerate every night. But just like with the cleanser, we don't want to overstrip the skin. We don't want to let it get too dry so that our skin has those signals to produce more oils, and exacerbate the problem we're trying to correct. You want to make sure your skin is nice and balanced. And using a moisturizer, at least at nighttime, even if it's a light one, is a great way to make sure your skin stays nice and in balance. So that is our skincare house, our essential skincare house. It's 5 products, 3 steps, twice a day. Really simple, but really effective. So one more time, I'll just go over those steps. In the morning, we're going to cleanse. We're going to use a vitamin C serum, and we're going to use a sunscreen. 3 steps. At nighttime, we're going to cleanse. We're going to use a retinol at least 3 nights a week, and we're going to moisturize. Again, 3 steps. We're going to do that twice a day, every day, and you've got a really nice, simple, quick skincare regimen that's going to be very effective. So that's our skincare house. Those are our 5 pillars, and that is what, if you're looking to create a skincare routine, start here. If you want to stay here, that's totally fine. But if you're like me and you're a little more skincare obsessed than just the essentials, now's the time that we're going to call Chip and Joanna, because we are about to fix this place up and really go from our skincare house to our skincare mansion. And that's what all of these products here are. This is the skincare mansion. So I've given you the really basic skincare house. And now what I'm going to do is describe to you my own skincare routine, which is my 10 steps morning and night, which really does represent a skincare mansion. I want to do that because you can use those 2 ends of the spectrum to find, where do you land? Are you more basic? Are you more advanced? Or are you somewhere in between? And somewhere in between is where most people fall. Now, I want to go through the categories of products because it's most likely that you're not going to be using all of these same products. So I want to first line out, what are the categories? So we know here we have our cleanser, our vitamin C serum, our retinol, our moisturizer, and our sunscreen. So when we get into mansion building, some of the additional categories would be cleanser is going to stay, but then additionally we might use a toner. Vitamin C is going to stay always. Then we may use a corrective serum or serums. We may use a hydrating serum. We may use a corrective cream. We may use different moisturizers in the morning and at night. And then, of course, we're still going to use our retinols and/or glycolics and sunscreen. So those are the general categories. So what we've added when building our mansion or expanding on our starter home, what we've added here are the categories of toner, corrective serum, hydrating serum, and corrective creams. So I'm going to get into those with you, and I felt like the best way to do that was to really visualize it using actual products. And so this is my skincare routine. These products represent what I actually do every morning and every night. Now, you all know that I am an educator for SkinCeuticals, which is part of the L'Oreal brand. And so all of the products I use pretty much are SkinCeuticals with a few other L'Oreal products thrown in there. I use these products because they're what I work with on a daily basis, and my job is to educate on the benefits of these products. So I'm going to use, for an example, what I actually use personally. These are actually on my bathroom counter. However, you can take the principles and the reasons why I've chosen these particular products, and you can apply that to whatever products you want to use. So I'm not telling you these are the only choices or the only options. I'm just using this as an example. The information I'm giving you is really intended to just be a guide for you to use on your own skincare journey. So my skincare journey, I want to represent that for you here right now, is those 10 steps. And so in the morning, I use a cleanser. This is the SkinCeuticals Replenishing Cream Cleanser. I use a different cleanser in the morning than I use at nighttime. At nighttime, I use the Kiehl's Midnight Botanical Cleansing Oil. I do this because I find that this cleansing oil does a great job at really dissolving and removing my makeup while leaving me feeling really soft and supple and hydrated. So I like to use this at nighttime, but in the morning, I don't need that oil action, and so I use the Replenishing Cream Cleanser because it's a nice light cream to foam, and it leaves me, again, feeling really hydrated. My second step is to use a micellar water. Right now, I'm using the La Roche-Posay micellar water. I've used lots of different micellar waters. This is what I happen to be using now, and I really like it. So after I cleanse, I just take a little cotton round, apply some of this, and swipe all over just to get that second phase of cleansing, and it leaves me feeling really nice and refreshed. So after I use my micellar water, I go to my antioxidants. Now, I use my antioxidant serum. I choose CE Ferulic, and in addition to a vitamin C face serum, I also use a vitamin C eye gel. So this is still just a vitamin C product. It's going to serve our skin the same way as we talked about vitamin C and the neutralization of those free radicals. I use a separate product for my eye area because the concentration in that product of vitamin C is lower. The concentration of vitamin C that's here in my face serum is higher and can be irritating around the delicate skin around our eyes. So using a product with a little lower concentration just is a little bit more tolerable. This also comes in a gel format, and so I like that because it sticks really nicely to the eye area and makes a really nice makeup primer. So I use two different antioxidants. If you want to be a little simpler and you just want to use a face serum, then my suggestion would be to stop right around your ocular bone. That way you don't get too much migration into your eye area and risk that irritation. And that's really the only reason we wouldn't want to use our serum closer to the eye, is just it tends to be irritating. And again, we want our products to be tolerable because we want to use them on a daily basis. The best skincare is not going to do anything for you if it sits on your bathroom counter, because one, you're not committed to it, you bit off more than you can chew, or two, it's irritating and you can't use it consistently. So we really want to find what we can do consistently. That's the sweet spot in building our skincare house. So these are my antioxidant steps, which is what I do in the morning after I cleanse and micellar water. Next, I use Blemish plus Age Defense. Now, this is where we get into those advanced categories. So this product here, Blemish plus Age Defense, which I use to combat breakouts, and then I use discoloration defense, and I use that to help correct and improve my discoloration. You can even see that I have a few spots that pop through my makeup. So I use this product as a way to help improve discoloration. And then I also use HA Intensifier. HA Intensifier is a volume building product, so it helps me to stimulate my body to produce more hyaluronic acid, which I want because we want that plumpness and that volume. Now, all three of these live in that category I mentioned of corrective serums. So when it comes to corrective serums, you may use one or two or three or more. It's really a matter of what goals are you trying to achieve and what are your individual concerns. So for me, I used three, but those are all corrective serums. So then after that, in the morning time, I use my Triple Lipid Restore 242. Triple Lipid is a heavier moisturizer, but I have very dry skin, so this works great for me. And I'm light-handed with it in the morning, but I use just a little layer of it in the morning, and it really helps to balance my skin. And then I follow that with a sunscreen. And I like to use the Physical Fusion SPF 50 because it's a high SPF, which I like. It's very lightweight, and it's tinted. So I like to use this because it gives me a nice little base of color, and then I'll come back with my makeup and layer on top of this. And my makeup really is my final skincare step in the morning. So that's my morning skincare regimen. So you can kind of see these categories: cleanse, double cleanse or tone, antioxidants, corrective serums, moisturizer, sunscreen. Those are my categories. You can fit in whatever products you need into those categories. Now at nighttime, it's going to be very similar. So I'm going to cleanse. I already mentioned I use the oil cleanser at nighttime, plus I use my micellar water again. Now at nighttime, as my very next step on clean skin, I'll use retinol. So for me, I don't tolerate retinol super well, and so I use the low dose retinol, the 0.3, and I only use it 3 nights a week. So I use a retinol 0.3 3 nights a week, and I alternate it with a glycolic. So I use the glycolic 10 Renew Overnight, and I use this product the other 4 nights. So what that does for me is I'm getting the cellular renewal, the cellular turnover from that retinol, and then I'm getting a really nice glow from that glycolic 10. So alternating those works really well for me. So that's what I do on that clean skin. I do not use blemish and age in the nighttime. I only use it in the morning. But my corrective serums at night are my discoloration defense and my HA intensifier. I use those both twice a day. I also use resveratrol BE. Now, resveratrol is an antioxidant. We use an antioxidant in the morning with our vitamin C. At night, I take a little bit different approach, and I use a different antioxidant, which is our resveratrol. Now, resveratrol is both an antioxidant and it's collagen stimulating. So I like to use this product to be in that anti-aging category. Not only is it that prevention and that free radical neutralization, but it's also helping to stimulate my collagen. Then next, I use a hydrating serum. This is a step I didn't do in the morning time. I use a hydrating serum at night because what I also use at night is AGE Interrupter. An AGE Interrupter is a corrective cream. It doesn't actually have any hydration in it, so there's no moisturizing ingredients here. And so to give me some moisture at nighttime, I use a hydrating serum. So to use my corrective cream and then a moisturizer would be a little bit too heavy, and so I like to get my hydration in serum form when I'm going to use a corrective cream. Now, if I do need a little bit of extra hydration, I'll use an oil. I like the Kiehl's Midnight Botanical Oil, which is kind of a companion product to my oil cleanser. And I'll just apply that right on top of my corrective cream. And I just do that as needed if I feel like I need a little extra hydration. So what you can see with my nighttime regimen is that we cleansed, we did our pillar product of the retinol alternating with glycolic. Then I had my corrective serums. Then I had my hydrating serum, and then my corrective cream. Now, morning and night as well, I didn't mention, but I do use an eye cream both morning and night. I think eye cream is really important because we tend to show signs of aging, fine lines and wrinkles, and that texture around our eyes sooner than even the rest of our face. So I do think an eye cream is really important, and I use the AGE Eye Complex. So this is my skincare routine. It's a lot, I know, it can be overwhelming. I really just wanted to give you that broad overview and that big example so you can sort of take which pieces of that you think are right for you and start experimenting with products and building your own skincare regimen. So remember, you can start small with a little starter home, which is the absolute essentials, and there is no reason that you can't live here for the rest of your life. These 5 essential products. But if you do want to expand and you do want to build that bigger house, you can expand to any number of products and really create that mansion. Now, I've kind of lined out for you the flow and the order in which I layer. If you ever get stuck or confused on that, there's a really simple rule you can remember. So of course, you're always going to cleanse first, and then we're going to use that pillar product of either vitamin C in the morning or retinol at night. Now, from there, you want to go thinnest product to thickest product. So you would use serums, followed by gels, followed by lotions, followed by creams. And then of course in the morning, we always do sunscreen, followed by makeup as our final step. So again, it's going to be cleanse, a pillar product of vitamin C or retinol, and then you're going to do thinnest to thickest, which would be serums, gels, lotions, creams, and then your sunscreen and your makeup in the morning time. If you follow that general rule, you really can't go wrong, and you're going to build a really solid and effective skincare routine. Now, y'all know that I love to talk product, as you can see, And so I really want to hear, what products are you using? How are you using products to build your own skincare house? So if you have any questions, or if you would be willing to share with me what your skincare house looks like, please leave me a comment or connect with me on skincrush.com or social media. Of course, if you liked this video, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel and visit us again. I love this stuff. I could talk about it all day long, and I really appreciate that you're here with me talking about it as well. So until next time, Skin Crushers, take care of your skin and take care of each other.